Hey y'all, this is Amanda with She's a Mad Gardener, and today I want to show you my plant infirmary. Infirmary. My plant hospital. I'll show you my plant hospital. If you haven't set up a quote-unquote plant hospital in your garden, it's something to consider. It's an area that I block up just for plants that I am recuperating, that I've bought on the clearance rack, that I'm checking out to see if it's diseased. But it's an area that I move all these plants away to. So let me show you how I handle that. As a reminder, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up. Okay, you guys, so nothing crazy special, but this area is what I call my plant hospital or my plant infirmary. Why is that so hard for me, you guys? So basically, this particular group of plants that I have out right now is actually a group of plants that I got from the Lowe's clearance section. I ended up getting, let's see, this is a DIABLO purple leafed 9-bark. I ended up getting this guy for $4.50. This cactus right here, I don't remember, but it's half. These two proven winners called CUPHEA. Don't know a lot about them. I got 3 SUNPATIENS clearance. I got this yellow lantana. It's called a Chapel Hill yellow lantana. This guy, which I've already been recuperating this guy. I mean, this guy was a hot mess, just wilted, sad. He is a MAGILLA purple PARILLA. Upright annual seasonal color. I'll put up the names for you guys. I thought it was a coleus. I mean, it looked like a coleus to me. I thought it was super pretty. It likes part sun, let's see, morning sun, afternoon shade. Got that guy. Then these are some of the hydrangeas that I'm recuperating as well. A couple of them did not make it or are still struggling. Okay, so why this area, you might ask? Why did you choose this area? Well, I chose it because it's a concrete area, so it doesn't have grass on it, so it's easier if it has any of these have pests or anything that perhaps they're not going to get directly to another plant or directly to my lawn really quick. This is also really close to the back door, so I can keep an eye on it easily. This area gets morning sun and filtered afternoon sun, which I think is great for plants that are trying to recuperate. And this is right close to all of my tools back here, which is fabulous too. So let me talk to you about 3 things that I like to do when I am recuperating plants in my plant hospital or infirmary. I'm gonna get it by the end of the video. I'm really gonna get it. Okay, first things first. Before you bring home a clearance plant or a plant that doesn't look so great from a store, make sure you inspect it before you put it in your cart, before you bring it to your house. Make sure you look to see if there's any kind of obvious pest damage, anything that might indicate that you're bringing in some type of bug, pest, or something to your lawn or your yard. You do not want to do that. It's not worth the savings. So if you see anything that you suspect maybe something's going on, best to just leave it behind. So now let's say you did find some good plants on the clearance rack. Let's say some of them are pretty crispy. Let's say some of them are wilty. I mean, it could be a whole different mess of ball games. So for example, if I was going to start with this plant right here, the first thing I would do when I would get home is I would take a look to see if there are any dead areas that needed to be trimmed off. So things that might be causing the plant to suffer, okay? So I'm going to clean that off. All right. Take that on. I left this one stem, which looks great, and then I left these 2 stems over here because they still have some new growth trying to push through from those stems. So I'm going to remove any kind of excess dead foliage, anything that might be hard on this plant. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly fertilize it. So I'm going to work in a little bit of my plant tone into the top of it. And I'm just going to rub it into the soil a little bit. And I don't want to mess with the roots too much, all right? And then I'm going to water this, okay? First thing I did was trim it back. Second thing I did was fertilize it. Third thing I'm doing is watering, okay? Let's do another plant, all right? So there's the hydrangea. Let's look at this 9 bark right here, okay? It's definitely got some crispiness up here. Definitely got some issues in some different places. Some stuff that doesn't look so great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of take a look around. I see a lot of new leaf growth in some areas, and I don't mind taking this guy down a little bit, okay? So I'm not, I have these in my infirmary because I know they're not doing well. So I'm not looking for something to be beautiful right off the bat, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna move any of this excess dry growth that doesn't necessarily need to be there. This whole guy right there looks like he can go. Keep that. This guy's still pushing growth. Okay. All right, so I trimmed that guy up a little bit. I'm gonna come in with my fertilizer. Put it into the surface. I'm gonna work it into the surface. Okay. Then I'm gonna water it. So once again, trimming back anything that's dead or damaged. Looks like the plant is suffering by trying to keep it going. Fertilizing and watering. Now, a lot of you guys might go, Amanda, why don't you just plant it in the ground right away? Well, I like to be extra cautious, you guys. I'm gonna look at these for a little bit before I stick them out into my yard. Another thing I haven't planted infirmary is because sometimes I find awesome plants in the middle of the summer. And if I were to put them out in my garden in the middle of the summer, there's no way they would survive, all right? So what I like to do is I like to care for them in my little plant hospital and see if I can't get them to be a healthier looking plant before I plant them into my garden, okay? This is personal taste. This is not a requirement. You don't have to do this. This is just something that I choose to do for my garden, seeing as it's small and I don't want to take a risk of wasting time putting something in the garden that's going to die pretty quick. All right, so I got my 9 bark, which is looking good. This guy, he just needed a watering. Look how great he looks already. All right, so I'm gonna get him planted up pretty soon. He's beautiful. Whew, sorry you guys, it's hot. Now, look at these guys, these sun patients. I've had them for a week now. When I picked them up, they were falling over, like wilting over, just terrible. Turns out the only thing these guys really needed was a little bit of water. So they're looking great, and I have 3 of these sun patients. These are looking really, really good. So not gonna mess with those so much. I also have loose drips over here, and I use this for my plant infirmary too, so that I can put the drips into separate pots. This guy is not looking great. All right, well, let's give him a hard cut back and see what happens. This is part of those group of hydrangeas that I got for $7. This is I don't see what number this one is. But anyway, we'll trim this guy back, fertilize it a little bit, see if we can't get a little boost going on him. Looks good. Oh, this lantana. So as soon as I got this guy home, I trimmed him up really good, and you can actually see some of these areas where I kind of cut back some of this stuff. He's looking fabulous. I can't believe this guy was half off, y'all. Let's see. I got him for free because he doesn't have a number on him. Oh, he was originally $12.98. This is a Monrovia, $12.98. So I got him for half off of that. Looking really good. This guy looks like he might be ready, and this particular plant is a plant that you can plant out in the hot sun, so he looks like he's getting ready to go in as well. Okay, so also what I do is I would clean up this area. I have drips set up to a lot of these pots, so what I'll do is I'll make sure that I have a drip line in each of these pots. It's sometimes hard for me to remember to come out here and water some of these, so I'll set up drip for all of these for my pots. Oh, does anybody know, has anybody grown this CUPHEA? CUPHEA, C-U-P-H-E-A. It's kind of cool looking, but it's kind of branchy. I don't know, I have to do a little bit of research. I can't decide if I need to cut it back so it's less branchy or if this is actually how it works. I'll do a little research before I cut this one back too hard. Okay, so this was just a quick video on setting up your own plant hospital, your plant infirmary, your plant infirmary. 3 main things when you get a plant home that needs help, or if you're pulling it out of your garden and it needs help. You're gonna put it in an area that's gonna get dappled like sun, so you don't want to put it in full sun all day because that's a plant that's recovering. That's a little much for it. But the 3 things you're going to do is you're going to trim off any dead parts, any parts that, you know, blooms. Sometimes it's best to get rid of the blooms on a plant so that the plant can really focus on roots and foliage and that type of thing. But you're going to cut it back. You're going to fertilize it. I like to utilize plant tone. You're going to fertilize it. I like to utilize plant tone because it has biotone in it. And then you're going to water it. You're going to keep a good eye on these plants and see if they thrive or if they continue to go downhill. That's about it, you guys. I just thought this might be a cool little tip because I know a lot of people, it's so tempting when you're walking around at some places and you see a clearance plant, especially some place like Lowe's. It literally is like this sad Nile, like this sad river of dying plants, and I want to save them all, but I can't. But every time I go there, I pretty much leave with a clearance plant, and I'm always put them in my plant hospital, my plant infirmary. Yes, got it. I got it. Did you hear that? Infirmary. Put it in my plant infirmary and then see if I can't bring it back to life, get it going in a better direction, and then actually add it to my garden. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.